So gear is a big part of my kind of setup, and cymbals have always been a big one. Ever since I've owned a drum kit, I've never been happy with the cymbals I've had. They're either too thick, which means they're just too loud and abrasive. They're either too tinny, and that's ones I've had previously. They've been way too tinny and it's just too bright and it kind of hurts your ears a bit, or they'd be too dark and then the bells aren't very good enough. And it's been very frustrating over the last couple of years for me, and I've not been happy with how my cymbals sound, and they don't mix well with the kit. So I took a lot of research and I decided to go with a full Meinl Byzance setup, and this now means that I've now got a very dry, sandy, and then a good mix between wash and articulate. So to start off with hi-hats, I decided to go with Benny Greb's 14-inch sand hats. Now, I absolutely love these hats. I do not think I'm going to buy another pair of hats ever. These are absolutely, they're gritty, articulate, but they've also got that obviously sand, kind of sandy, kind of washy sound, and it's good for literally every single type of drumming I'm ever going to be able to be playing, and it's got a really thin and sandblasted top, but on the bottom it's a really thick and heavy bottom, and that way the top cymbal is just free to just be gritty all along the bottom cymbal, and I absolutely love these hi-hats. Next. My left side crash, I've also got Benny Greb's signature 18-inch thin sand crash. Now, I'd say 18-inch is a little bit too small for my kind of liking for especially a left crash, but with the sand box set that I bought, 18, I was like, I can't complain, and it fits. Obviously, I didn't want a odd dry Meinl cymbal. This was, I couldn't complain with this, and it's still a wonderful, nice cymbal, and it blends very well with what I've got. But why I really love this is because, as I was saying earlier, I really didn't like thick, heavy cymbals, because they would just, especially in this tiny room, it will just, when I was recording, it would just blow up my whole mix, and there was nothing I could do, and it would just be terrible. Whereas this is very thin, it could just bend in my hand, and you can tell how much difference it is. I just could tell straight away. So thank you, Benny Greb, for making such a nice crash cymbal. Next. For my ride cymbal, to finish off Benny Greb's signature set, I've got his 20-inch sand ride. Now, this is a beautiful cymbal. I love how, first of all, how it looks straight away. It stands out like a sore thumb. But also, one, how thin it is, and also the bell makes the best out of this cymbal, and it's by far the best ride cymbal I ever had. If I could have had a 22-inch version, I probably would have gone for that, but I'm more than happy with this 20-inch ride cymbal. These are also really versatile. These are, can be used for jazz or kind of funk, or these can be really used for anything, and where it's so light as well, it's just a wonderful cymbal. for my right side crash, it's probably my favourite cymbal out of the lot, and it's the 20-inch Byzance extra thin hammered crash, and this is an absolute monster, especially being a 20-inch crash, which is as big as my ride, but obviously it's thin, so it's not too loud and abrasive, and it mixes really well with the sand cymbals. But where it's 20-inch, it's not like the tinny that I didn't like. But I also didn't want too much kind of sandy kind of stuff going on. I wanted more of a traditional nice crash that I could ride on. So this one is an absolute monster and I love it, and I'm going to have this for a long, long time. Finally, I come onto my stack. Now, this was quite hard to choose because I really was looking at Matt Gasker's stack, and I was also looking at Benny Greb's attack hats. But I decided to keep a bit low on the budget, and I decided to go for the 16-inch Trash Crash. Now, on its own, it's an amazing crash cymbal because it's so trashy. But as a 16, I feel it wouldn't really fit very well. And I've kind of, 2 crashes already. I feel 3 would be a bit obsessive for like a 3-piece kit. But I've decided to make this a stack underneath just a traditional 12-inch Byzance splash. And these work in the opposite way of my hi-hats, where I've got a thin top and a thick bottom. So I've got a really kind of articulate sound. Whereas this one, it's a much thicker top and a really thin bottom, so it's a lot more washy, and that way we've got a versatile between the two. So that's all of my cymbals as of December 2019. I'm still definitely going to be building on my cymbals. As I said before, either Benny Greb's 8-inch attack hats or Matt Gasker's stack. There'll be definitely some ones I'm definitely looking at. Also, maybe a 19-inch crash cymbal might be very, very nice. But in the meantime, this is what I'm sticking with for a very, very long time. I hope you found this quite useful. If you're kind of looking at cymbals for yourself, then these are definitely like kind of the highest end for Meinl, at least anyway. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions, do check out my Facebook and my Instagram, or go onto the gear page on my website where you can find the actual proper names of these cymbals. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.